Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Andrea and today I have some fun summer-themed Dollar Tree DIYs to share with you. So let's get started. For this DIY, I'm going to be making a summer-themed wreath full of sunflowers and butterflies. To start with, I'll be using one of these metal wreath forms from Dollar Tree. It's missing a couple of rings that I took off for previous DIYs. And I'll also be using this burlap I got at Michael's. I'm now wrapping the burlap around the wreath form, and I'm going to be hot gluing it in place as I go. Every time I wrap the burlap around the wreath, I pull it to the side a little bit so it's at more of a diagonal, and then I'm continuing all around until the whole thing is covered. I got this wooden truck at Dollar Tree and I'm going to be painting it using this green paint from Walmart. I also mixed some white acrylic paint in with the green to make a lighter green color because I'll be painting some parts of the truck with the lighter color and some parts with the darker color. Going in with the darker green and painting all the main parts of the truck. And now I'm painting the center of the wheels with this silver gray color, then painting the tires black. For the back of the truck, I'm using this burnt umber mixed with some of the white acrylic paint. Then I'm using just the burnt umber by itself for that center part there. Now I'm just arranging the truck on the wreath along with the flowers to see whereabouts I want it to go. And now I'm gluing all the flowers to the back of the truck, then gluing the truck down onto the wreath. I got these cute bee stickers at Dollar Tree and I'm taking the watering can sticker and putting it on the door of the truck. I'm also using these laser cut butterflies I got at Dollar Tree. They are so cute, so detailed and intricate, and I'll be painting two of them pink and one of them yellow. Painting them was a little bit tricky just because it's so intricate and there's all these little crevices everywhere. But I just went over with my paintbrush and did a first coat and then went back over and kind of got in between all the little crevices as much as I could. And now I'm gluing them down onto the wreath. I'm taking 3 of these larger sunflowers. I got all the sunflowers at Dollarama and I'm placing them on the bottom of the wreath. At first I tried to just poke them through the burlap, but then later on, I decided to secure them even more with some hot glue. I'm now taking this burlap ribbon I got at Walmart and tying it around the top of the wreath. And here's the finished burlap sunflower wreath, perfect for summer. I love the colors with the bluish green and the yellow, and then the little pops of pink from the butterfly. Today's video is part of the Summer on My Mind hop. Myself and each of these ladies are creating summer-themed DIYs, and there's also a giveaway involved. All you have to do is watch and comment on all 8 videos in the hop, and you'll be entered to win $80 through PayPal. Click the link in my description box to go to the next video in the hop and go through until you've watched every video. The giveaway closes on May 13th, so good luck! This DIY is a bright, fun, colorful floral wreath. I'm using a floral foam wreath form from Dollar Tree along with a bunch of bright, fun flowers from Dollarama. I love these flowers because they also include a few little butterflies, which is fun. I'm taking my wire cutters and cutting off all the stems and then poking them through the wreath. The great thing about these foam wreath forms is that they're so easy to poke things through and arrange however you want. I'm using a variety of flowers, anything that is bright and bold. I'm also mixing in a couple of white flowers, and I arranged everything so the 2 butterflies are on either side of the wreath. I used some of this floral wire to help tie down some of the pieces, like this large leaf. You could also use hot glue. I'm turning over the wreath and just making sure nothing is sticking out too far, folding over the stems or trimming them off as needed. To hang the wreath, I'm taking this jute cord from Dollar Tree and making a loop at the top. And I'm securing it to the wreath using hot glue. I wanted to make a little banner in the center of the wreath to have the word welcome on it. So I'm using this burlap ribbon from Walmart and I'm cutting it to be the right size to go across the wreath. I made a stencil that said welcome using my Cricut. And if you want to see a more detailed video on how I make stencils with my Cricut, then I'll link another video up in the cards and also down in the description box. I'm weeding out the word welcome and being very careful not to take the little tiny pieces along with it, including the center of the E and also the O. I actually used the Dollar Tree vinyl for this, and I didn't notice any difference between this and Cricut vinyl, so that was nice. And I'm also using the Dollar Tree transfer paper and laying that over top of my stencil and then transferring that to the burlap ribbon. This transfer paper was really sticky and I thought it worked really well. Now I'm peeling the stencil up with my transfer paper, then sticking it onto the burlap. This part was definitely the trickiest, trying to remove the transfer paper from the burlap and the vinyl. I'm not sure if it was because the transfer paper was too sticky or if it's just because of the font and how small it was, but I did get it to work with some patience and using my Cricut tools to press down on the vinyl as I was peeling up the transfer paper. You really want to be careful not to lose these little pieces inside the letters since we are going to be painting over top of this and using it as a stencil. But if those little pieces come up, it's no problem. Just take one of your little tools and stick it back in place. Now that I have my stencil all ready to go, I'm taking some white acrylic paint and a paintbrush and painting over the letters. I did a couple of coats of this, but I wish I had maybe done a little bit more because it wasn't quite as dark as I wanted it to be when I peeled off the stencil. I'm now going back with my paintbrush and going over the letters with a little bit more of the white paint just to darken it up. And it's obviously better if you do this while the stencil is still on, but it still worked out pretty well. Now it's time to attach the burlap ribbon onto the wreath. I'm taking my hot glue gun and attaching the ribbon to either side. Here is the completed summer-themed floral wreath. I loved this wreath on its own with all the colorful flowers, but I think adding the welcome banner in the center took it to the next level. I love how the burlap looks with the white lettering, and I think it complements the bright flowers really well. If you made it to the end of this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments which DIY was your favorite. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.